Hey guys, it's Pat here on May 19th, 2020. This is the day after Evan and I record the podcast, episode 4. Hope you guys are liking
Episode
the podcast
3,
so far.
dude.
But just thought I'd stop in to say beforehand, Evan happened to have a little weird technical difficulties with his recording in the first 15 minutes. It's only the first 15 minutes. It does last all those 15 minutes, but just wanted to say I'm sorry about that. Probably could have fixed it, but you'll find out in the episode. He's no longer in town, so nothing we can really do. I figure we might as well just put this thing out before, waiting too long and then getting on a weird schedule. So anyways, enjoy the episode, and sorry about the first 15 minutes. Sorry.
Pop the beer now. Well, yeah, let's wait. Got a bottle of water. Put that on the ground here. Yo.
Ev, what's up, man?
How we doing?
Doing all right, man. I feel like so much is going on.
Yeah?
This week.
One of those.
Yeah. I feel like it's like I couldn't help but start to imagine this call before the call happened. So, admittedly, I'd planned this thought out, but it was a thought I had.
Yeah, let's go.
I feel like not like I'm in traffic, but I'm in a lot of different cars.
Wait. So this is a thought or this is a dream?
No, this is like kind of how I feel like where I'm at, but it's just
This
like
is
a
a
thought.
okay.
That was a thought I had.
Okay.
But how are you doing?
No. You can't just stop there.
I mean, I figured
you're
I'm
saying
gonna try.
that you
I'm gonna,
feel.
I basically what I'm trying to say is I think there's gonna be a lot I'm gonna have to tell you about, but I don't know if I should just start it off by rambling about my life.
Oh, dude, bro. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
You feel like you're stuck in traffic?
No.
What were you
No,
saying?
not like I'm stuck in traffic. Like everything's moving. I just feel like I'm in a lot of different cars. You know what I
you're
mean?
In the cars.
Like I have a lot of different little things that are moving forward right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess so. To start off, there's some family stuff that's like just complex, and it's not something I'm a part of, but something I'm feeling a little. Like that, we touched on my sister. She's back.
Okay. Yeah.
But she's now on her way to Washington.
Okay.
And my mom wishes she would have stayed a little longer.
Sure.
And I had a call with my sister before it, she left like yesterday with Mitch, and I totally support her, and I think Washington is awesome to check it out for a summer, her boyfriend Mitch lives in Washington.
Gotcha.
So she's going to go check that out. And yeah, but my mom, I also talked to her, and her side of it also makes sense. So it's just a complex situation,
Sure.
And it's fine. Everything's fine. It's just that like that's a big thing that's kind of going on right now with me, just juggling like those thoughts and those feelings for both of them. And
Did you get to see her?
yeah, she stopped by Iowa City last night, which was a lot of fun. We just talked in the backyard for a while, and then she stayed at her friend Lexi's place last night. So I got to see her, and that was great. So there's that, and then also the camera came in, and so I've been like messing around with that a lot. And then today, Ellie says that they canceled Mission Creek, but they're gonna make a film. instead, and they need like videographers.
Oh, wait.
And like she could put a word in for me, she works there. So like that happened. She asked if she should, and like that's just a heavy thought, to imagine all of a sudden you are working on something like that.
Sure.
And like I'm pretty into like the writing projects and my own little camera stuff right now, so it's like it's something I should jump at, but it's something I'm not jumping at.
Interesting.
But something I'm again having to really think through. Yeah. So, and then
well, you could even just see if you could even just put the word out.
Yeah. Yeah. Just by trying to get on the staff or something doesn't mean I'm going to. So even just like trying to see if they grab my resume or whatever.
Because dude, that would be sick.
Mm-hmm. Also, like, you worry that by accepting a professional gig, you don't have like this super creative and fun project, but like this would be super creative and fun. Like, cause Iowa City's just cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be like a great process. And even if it wasn't, like, no matter what, you're gonna learn some shit.
Yeah.
Making a project like that.
So like, I'm leaning towards, putting my name in there. But there was a second where I wasn't. Yeah. Okay, so I needed that obviously, but yeah. So thanks. I probably am going to do that now. So we'll see what happens with that. And then also Oasis emailed me. So
okay.
They are trying to feel out what their employees think. Yeah. So it's not hey, we're opening. It's hey, so we're thinking about in a few weeks maybe doing just curbside pickup deliveries. What do you guys think? Do you still live in the state? Have you taken a different job? Are you interested?
Yeah.
And that was yesterday too, so I didn't email back yet, but I've been thinking about that too. Like, I like not working, but it might be nice for me to be willing to help Oasis get their thing going again, and also have some falafel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I just have an email back.
Like, did they even mention a date?
They said a couple weeks.
Okay. Yeah, Cassie went to DC's the other night.
Really?
Yeah, she was in Iowa City and it was open.
Wow. See, that I almost want to say that in my email. Is like, hey, I'm willing to help, I'm free, but also like, I feel like we might get another spike in cases about as soon as we open. I don't know. I don't want to be too entitled in my email back. Like, I don't want to try and act like they haven't thought about it. But just like note that it's something that I've thought about,
Sure. It seems like that's a place where honesty is very much allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they were just to say, hey, June 1st, we're going to be there, can we count on you?
Yeah.
Would you...
I think I would.
Would you do it?
I think I would say, yeah, I'm good to go.
But ideally, you'd prefer them to not make that call until later.
Yeah. So I guess the real question is, they've already kind of asked, They didn't say on June 1st, but they already kind of did. They said a couple weeks. So I'll probably just say that back maybe later today.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting way to say it. Just be like, hey, when you guys want to make the call, I'm with you. That said, the later on we make that call, the more comfortable I would be with it. It's kind of a really solid position to be in.
Yeah.
Just I'm ride or die, and because of that, Here's my opinion.
Yeah, like I'm one that.
But either way.
Yeah. I'd be willing. I trust you guys to make the decision, but here's my view.
Yeah. It's interesting.
So you guys are still set to open on June 1st?
I haven't talked to anyone since that initial call, but I'm thinking that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
Just we got a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I was sort of trying to figure this out. When did this shit start? Like, how many
It was mid-March.
weeks are we at?
It was like March 19th ish. I don't know. That's kind of a random number, but it was like, it was in between March 10th and March 20th and closer to March 20th.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking, because like the Kevin Morby poster got to hang on the fridge, and I think that was like supposed to be like the 23rd or something. And I think that was a Saturday, and then like I think I went home on the
I didn't
Monday
realize
before.
that was close, dude. That was close. That almost made it.
Oh, it was that weekend. Dude, I
It
picked up a
almost
shift that
made
week.
it. Wow,
I
that would have been
worked.
amazing.
Yeah.
That show would have been so good.
Yeah, and I'm glad you gave me the poster, because it's a really interesting like show that never was.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
And
it
even
makes
if
the
it
poster
was,
cooler.
even if it was, like that would just be a good poster to have. Like, and that's why I gave it to you. I was like, this is legit. It's a great cardstock, and it's gonna be a night. And now it turned out to be a different kind of poster, but it's either way, dude. That poster would have been worth having.
Completely agree.
I still have. I have a stack. Like I have a stack, and I'm keeping all of them. Like I'm like, I haven't thought about what I'm gonna do with those.
Yeah.
Like because I actually just saw them recently, because I just went through a big rearrange, and this is on a better note. It's like this rearrange was really good. It was one of those really good rearranges.
Good.
Yeah, I've been just a lot of the time kind of just sitting and like looking around and appreciating this arrangement rather than like even doing things.
Yeah, dude, I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm kind of at a standstill. I feel like with my setup, there's just like reasons why it kind of works where it is, and so I haven't rearranged really anything. I've been thinking, I kind of have a flow of like kind of adding and subtracting and doing some like minor shifts, but I haven't done like a big rearrange.
Yeah,
kind of
I haven't noticed one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like I sort of even did that. Like even at the last place, I want to say we really only switched things up. Well, maybe 2 or 3 times, which in the course of a year, that's kind of par. Do your parents
you just had good
rearrange?
setups? No, not really. They've gotten like new furniture.
Yeah,
and, like that
but
kind of
even
makes
then,
a rearrange. But no,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
that's interesting. I've never seen them really rearrange. It would be crazy to see my house rearranged.
Yeah.
Like my home house. Wow.
Right. Sure. I wonder, do you think they were big rearrangers when they were younger? Is the rearrange something you grow out of? Hey, am I going out of the rearranged path?
Like, I don't think so. It's hard to say. I feel like in the moments in which you aren't rearranging, it feels like you've completely grown out of rearranging. But then you'll eventually have a day where you see it and you change it. And so it's like you're always in it, but it's just whether or not you're open to seeing that new arrangement in your head. Or if there's enough not going on to think about it instead of something else. And I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think you've grown out of it. You just haven't done it in a while. And I don't think that I've have it because my parents had it. I think that I don't know. Was it you that got me into rearranging, or what? How did I get into it?
It's a good question. I know I've kind of always done it. I didn't like growing up in my bedroom. It was kind of hard because I had a bunk bed that I couldn't physically move. It was like it could really only be in one spot.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely if we think to like college, I think I would kind of relatively often just switch it up because it just makes everything feel fresh. But I'm not sure if we got there together kind of on our own.
I feel like we may have got there together. I feel like we may have rearranged. Well, it had to have been before South Johnson because South Johnson obviously had the ultimate arrangement.
Yeah, but which was a rearrange.
which might have
Yeah.
been the moment we got into it.
Well, me and Holla, and I guess even like Jeff and Wiggs, were semi-known in the building of Burge for our rearranges.
That's very true. So, yeah, you had gotten into it, but it wasn't until we did it together that I got into it. Like I didn't see you guys doing that and getting into it and started getting into it myself. It took us starting to do it together for me to try it on my own.
Well, this makes me want to do it now. I think I've been kind of getting my similar kicks by like organizing.
Dude, I'm
Like
trying.
that's something that can
I
make me feel
wish.
really refreshed. Like just like I've just been trying to like notice like if I'm going into a closet and if I'm like getting frustrated looking for something in a closet, it's like okay, note that. This would be a good one. Or like one drawer. If every time I go, even like our spice cabinet right now, it's just like really like it's just unorganized. It's like every time I need like cinnamon or something, you know, I'm like I pick up 3 or 4 things. I'm like, where the fuck? Like, why is this just not in the same spot? Like, I used this yesterday. Why can't I find cinnamon? And it's just like that would be a great one. Just take the afternoon, pull out everything, wipe everything down, figure out what I do and don't need, try to arrange it. I even built these little like cardboard steps that kind of nicely arrange. You can see things, but it's you know, things just kind of get undone with time. You need to go back through. So I think that might be my next pursuit. Maybe I'll throw in some rearranging into it. That's kind of it's nice now that I'm finishing up the portfolio. I get to start thinking about what I'm doing next, and I think that's gonna be the
That
key.
rearrange might happen. Yeah. So how's the portfolio
Home
going?
It's going well. I would say I'm like a significant chunk finished, which is good because it's due like Friday afternoon. And I'm gonna try to get out of town for a couple days on the motorcycle.
Yeah. Were you thinking about driving to?
Yeah, we're thinking about taking the ride up to Devil's Lake.
Yeah, I should say
Wisconsin.
riding too, right? Is a motorcycle driving? No, right? It's just it's
a ride.
riding. You don't drive
Yeah.
a motorcycle, you ride one.
Yeah, you ride them. Yeah,
So, you said you're riding to where? I'm sorry.
Devil's Lake, Wisconsin, which should be a little bit interesting because the campgrounds aren't open. So just kind of doing some, just off-road camping. Just one night, we'll just drive up early tomorrow morning, hang out there in the afternoon, hopefully. Get a night's sleep, ride back.
You and Cass?
No, Jonah.
Oh, you and Jonah. Duh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Cassie will ever get on the back of the bike.
I was curious. Yeah, I didn't know if Cass had tried that.
She is not. She has very been against it verbally. She said she'd rather ride one than be on the back, but I don't.
Yeah.
I get it. I think it would be
I was
kind of
riding
scary. I would
some
think it would be
electric.
less scary.
Yeah, I was riding some electric things. Was that like a little surprise party last week for somebody, and they had, I don't know if you know Michael. Michael has this like one wheel electric skateboard type thing.
Word, yeah.
Yeah, so the wheel's in the middle and it's pretty big. And like you put your feet on the left and right of the wheel, and you lean forward to go forward, and stopping's the thing I still don't really know how to do, but I suppose it's lean back. It's kind of hard to do that while you're going. But I actually had a decent first run, so I just didn't do any others. Because it did get going kind of fast. And it was a little wobbly. And at night.
Yeah.
But that felt good. I ended up going on a little electric scooter too, and I was on the back, so starting to get some of that, what Cass is fearing a little bit, where you really got to trust that first person, which was Ellie, to make sure we stay on board. And we did. Scooter isn't too difficult, but a motorcycle, I could see it being a little freaky on the back.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been on the back of a motorcycle, but even just like the moped, like when you're riding like two on a moped, like
We had a good day out there that one day.
Yeah,
Dude, what was
the hat
what was
just
that
kept
day?
flying off.
So we were like, we were flipping it from odd and even, right? But we went so far.
No, we went to the Dupe. So this would have been. I lived at South Johnson. We went to the Dupe. We were hungover, riding two on that back, and I want to say it was right before I moved into the Dupe.
Yeah, like you were even like you had a pocket full of stuff, chargers or something. You were starting to move in, or you were like
via moped.
Yeah, via moped. And
yeah,
I remember, they're that half circle, like we're kind of flying and hungover, so like off balance, and just my hat flies off. We just left it, I think. I don't know.
I think we went back for it.
Yeah, we had to.
I'm
we wouldn't
sure
leave
that was
that.
like the funniest. That was like the funniest.
It was really goofy looking. Man, that was a good time. So not the safest thing to. I remember I wasn't feeling the safest during that, but I was just having too much fun to care.
Right, and I think like a motorcycle is gonna be a bigger seat. Like my bike even has like foot pegs for the passenger. There's a back pad. So like I think it would be like more comfortable than the moped, but it's just that general feeling of motorcycles are already somewhat scary. That's what makes them fun, but at least you're in control. When you're the passenger, you're just clinging on to the person who's in control. But also like I don't know, you're sort of a participant in the sense that like if you need to like kind of lane with them, so you have a little bit of a role, but ultimately, yeah, you're not in control of what's gonna happen.
Yeah. But that'll be a killer ride and a killer weekend, man.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thinking about
Should be cool.
I might go to Crystal Lake, maybe see my grandma. But it's hard to say, We would keep our distance and everything for sure,
Sure.
Try and be super safe. But my grandma just flew back from Arizona, so my mom was just thinking about it, and so I might do some traveling this weekend as well.
So she'll be back for the weather.
Yeah, the weather's getting real hot in Arizona now.
Yeah. How long has she been doing that for? The back and forth?
Dude, I think like maybe 15 years. Maybe
Wow.
It's got to be 10 to 15 maybe.
Is that about how long she's been retired for?
Yeah, I think no, she's been retired for longer than that. She's been retired like as long as I can remember. My whole
Shit.
my whole life.
Do you know how old she is?
Probably like I always forget, man. I don't know. Probably like 80.
Okay.
Low
sure.
80s, maybe. Like maybe even a little beyond then. But she's doing well, and yeah, that was tough. I don't know. I don't know how old she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good to see her.
Dude, I wanna have 2 homes.
Yeah.
Like that's the dream,
That's a pretty
bro.
cool. That's a pretty cool life.
I'm a little bit cold. I could throw on the jacket or
Go to that other house for a while.
go to Arizona. Yeah, let's go to Arizona. It's starting to get a little hot. I could
Dude, I
turn
think
on
my
the
parents
fan
might.
or
I think my parents are thinking about, that they're dreaming of Arizona.
that'd be cool. Wow. Like you think that they would just kind of,
Yeah, they
obviously
probably wouldn't do the 2-house thing, but they would probably just go.
wrap it up. That's cool.
I don't know.
You think they actually would?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some stuff in the way right now, but I think that
Because Brendan's living at home, Tommy's in town.
Yeah. Tommy has his own place, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's in town,
He's in
right?
town, so, and they're both working still, and part of the stress, a little bit of the stress my mom was having was my sister has a lot of stuff at the house. So like there's just a lot of stuff there. Like it'd be a big thing to like, I'm a man of stuff, so I'm in a family full of stuff as well, and it'd be a big thing to move. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But dude, the camera thing, I've realized it's a lot of other things you need when you have a camera.
Bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I got a new tripod. I had to get like a specific SD card. SD cards are actually more expensive than you think too. And then like I needed to get a cord / an SD card reader, like one of the two, to get my files onto my computer.
Sure.
So I've just been, also my computer is like, I didn't think about how sure, this camera can shoot in like 4K, but like my computer, who knows if it can handle 4K? You know, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of struggling to. I can't really edit the files because they're so glitchy because it's so big.
Yeah.
And so that's been a lot of my week as well, is just trying to figure that out. All that stuff that comes along with getting a camera and learning the settings of it. But I did figure out a kind of a way to create fake files that are like much lower resolution that like just get replaced when you export to the HD one. So like I can edit through that way. But it's just been...
You can edit and then kind of restore its
Yeah,
quality.
you like edit as these lower resolution files so it's not glitchy and stuff. But then like once you export, you kind of like... It turns them all back into those HD files, the 4K files. And
Wow.
so I made a big editing jump recently by having to study and learn this new camera, you know? So that's just like a big new lesson that I've learned about editing, which will make it a lot smoother and a lot easier to do. Yep. There's
Very nice.
just more things I'm just trying to list off as to what I've been going through. It feels like
Yeah.
when I'm having my weeks, I don't know if it's like this for you, but I can't help but to think of noting everything I do and try to share it with you somehow.
Sure.
So
Sure.
some of this stuff might come off as, you know, minimal, but it's just because I feel as if we are documenting our lives right now.
Well, dude, I mean, I feel like I get what you're saying, but like also like with that, with the camera and its spiraling and everything, that's exactly where I'm at with this motorcycle. Where it's like, and I even read like online, it's like motorcycles aren't expensive, it's everything else.
Yeah,
Like, I just
yeah.
fell in that see that
Part
same
of-
thing. So I've just got like, you know, like the jacket, you know, and you want to have it so that it can slide, and so there's padding. Then you're getting these pants, but then you know like leather pants are really hot, so you're trying to get something a little bit more modern. So then you got to buy them new. You know, you're supposed to have some boots. It's insured, like, and so really, I do think that at this point, it's probably pretty close. The amount I spent on the actual motorcycle and the amount I spent on everything else,
Wow.
which I totally understand now how people just like. I think prior to this, I really had never made a big purchase.
That's yeah, same dude. We both made our big purchases relatively close together.
Yeah, I guess my laptop was one.
Yeah.
But that was just like so like it was like for school.
Yeah.
Like so it just didn't feel the same.
Also,
where this one is
you
purely
had a
fun.
laptop before. This is a new laptop. You've already had what a laptop. You know what a laptop is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like,
true. That's
like,
true.
Like
Less-
this is like a brand new big purchase that you've never experienced even that world of before.
Yeah,
really.
figuring it out as I go completely.
Yeah.
Where like it does kind of, it's a bit shocking. And I'm sure it's like with your camera too. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
if you spend money on a nice camera, then it's like you're buying the cord and you're like, well, I don't really just want to get like a shitty cord that might break.
Dude,
like,
it's-
so I've spent all this.
yeah.
So like I should probably get like a nice one, you know?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I think is the way to go. I really do feel that way. As much as I like to pinch a penny.
I think
Yeah, I said that right.
I think you can pinch pennies on all the little things in life. But like if you have a big thing, you kind of treat it a little nicer. Like the tripod I got was like a $90 one, so it wasn't like $30 ones, you know.
Yeah.
You do want to give it that extra, that assurance that like everything's gonna match the quality of this main thing
Yeah.
to keep it.
I
that
think
way.
it does make all the difference because that's what we don't like about shitty cameras is that it's frustrating. It gets in the way.
Yep.
And by having that perfect tripod, it does just make things smoother. It makes things better. I think like I put a little chunk of change into like all of my art supplies for year one of design school. You're buying pencils, colored pencils, rulers, cutting mats, just all this kind of shit. And that was a similar one where it was like every time you went to buy something, you wanted to like, you know, I don't know, Cassie will get mad at me because she'll be like, hey, do you know, like, can I use like those scissors? I'm like, no. Like, like, no, you can't. Like, sorry, these are like, these scissors, like, these have to stay in like perfect shape. I'm willing to get another pair of scissors. Like, these ones like have to be.
These ones got to stay in really good condition.
Yeah, like these. Yes, it's. I'm trying to treat it like a professional art set. This is not just. I'm not just using the scissors from the drawer for my.
Yeah.
It's a stupid example, but I don't know. I guess I can see how people can spend money on like a serious level.
I mean,
so it's like these are still relatively small things. If you like own a boat on a lake house, like, and you're like replacing water heaters. I know my dad just like dropped like a bunch on a sump pump.
yeah.
And like he's very very conflicted, but like he used to like stay up at night and like count how many times it would run. So like he got one to give him some peace of mind that it won't flood the basement. That like he drywalled himself when I was a kid.
There's like it really is funny. You can go big on more things than you think. Like you went big on a shaving razor.
That was actually really affordable.
Oh, okay. I just
Like,
remember it was a
more
really
so-
cool razor.
Yeah, which is why that's such a no-brainer.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
okay.
just such a big fan. Sorry, I get excited whenever it's brought up.
Yeah.
those
No,
are-
but I'm glad that we got to it because it is interesting. I'd like to hear more about it again.
Yeah, so basically it's the double-edged safety razor. So old school, it's just like a razor blade on two sides that goes in an enclosure that's metal, looks like a regular razor. And so it's Maggart, I believe is what it's called, Maggart Razors. I think it's a Canadian site. They've at least got a big, like the maple leaf logo. And they do a starting kit for like 30 something bucks, at least when they're on sale. And so you get the full metal razor. They give you a bunch of different kinds of blades to try. They're just different brands, so just a slightly different feel. A shaving cream that froths. They give you like the brush to lather it all up. Yeah, so it's a really
big
cheap
kit.
set. They give you everything, and it really is affordable because they try to price it. Like I don't even think they make money on those, to be honest with you, but just to get people into it. And then it's really interesting because like then you just have to buy the blade itself. So I think I've maybe spent $10 on blades, and I've been shaving with it for 2 years, and like I'm not gonna have to buy more blades for at least another year or two.
Wow.
So it's like, I guess the next thing I bought some aftershave, maybe 10 or 20 bucks, but I love the smell of that. And I've bought one other thing of soap since the first one I got for free. So there's a little bit of upkeep, but it's way cheaper than plastic razors. Especially like if you get even like a decent plastic razor, you're dropping like, I don't know, 13 bucks. It comes with maybe 2, 3, 4 heads. I don't know. I've only bought those a couple times. But you can never like clean them out. What I love about the safety razor, you just unscrew it and you clean it out. So like, when you take that big first cut and it just fills up, because like I don't shave too often.
Yeah.
So there's just like a buckload of hair. You just unscrew it, run it under water. Everything's completely clean. And I always wanted to take apart. Plus like the thing with like those like 4-blade razors, people like shit on them. Because it's like you really like don't need 4. It's like the first one cuts the hair. The next one rubs your skin. The next one rubs your skin. The next one rubs your skin. So it's like you are getting a little bit closer, but like at the detriment to your skin. And really, if you just have one, if you need to, you can go over it twice. You're probably never going to do it 4 times. So it's just like all around. Like it just seems like plastic was just a complete marketing thing. And it, like some people really like this, like just like the knife razors too, like the just straight razor. I haven't gone that far. They scare me a little bit. I got my face shaved with the straight razor in Thailand, but I think that would feel a little bit more intense because you'd have to sharpen it and shit yourself. And
Yeah, dude, that's a little too.
I haven't made that jump.
Yeah.
But
That razor
sorry,
looks sick though. I remember.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I got one for my dad for Christmas. I also told London about it because he just had a post on like Snapchat about shaving, and it was just like something like he was struggling with it, or just like I don't know, just hadn't really done much, so just wanted some advice. And I was like, bro, if you like design, like he's like, I love design.
London posted some guy's EP on his story the other day. Did you see that?
Yeah, I listened to it.
Yeah, dude, same here. What'd you think?
I thought the beats were cool. I didn't care for his lyrics much, but like the whole like approach, it just seems like that's what he cares about at least. Like his sound was really well considered. Sonically it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just really didn't care about the lyrics too much. And then
Yeah,
also
I didn't hear any of them. Like I didn't.
well
None of them stuck.
yeah, the album art, like London said, was unreal, and the title had me mad hyped.
Yeah, I liked the title too. The art.
Your favorite abstraction with an exclamation point too. But then that kind of rubbed me because I was a little bit like, dude, I was like stoked for it, and then I was kind of like, I'll be honest with you, like I don't think there was really much abstraction at all. Like it was a pretty straightforward
It kind of
conceptual
sounded
project.
like Tyler, like early on.
Yeah, I thought like there was like a little bit of like interesting things going like sonically, but just like really like lyrically, I was pretty let down because it's kind of like, yeah, like we live online, meet me in real IRL. Like you don't know me at all. Like I'm like this isn't abstract at all. Like
Yeah.
I can get out of this, but like just like it doesn't quite fit the name. That was so good.
I thought it did kind of fit the album art though. Like I don't know. I thought the album
Oh,
art,
absolutely, the album art. Yeah.
concept was pretty cool. I didn't love exactly how it felt like looking at it, but that's sort of how the album was. It was like I could see his concept. It's just that it wasn't that mind-blowing or unique sounding or feeling. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was cool to listen. I listened I mean, it kept me all the way. It just, yeah, it doesn't have much going on with me today, you know.
Oh yeah, I'd added it to my library to listen to it, and then I pretty much listened to it straight away. And then it kind of started to loop again, so I listened to like the first half of it again, and then I just like removed it from the library, and yeah.
Yeah, I remember like, yeah, it was solid. It's about enough on that one. I could have gone more, but we already said it all. I tried to listen through that J Electronica one a little bit. I listened to probably like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was a cool vibe.
Dude, it's different.
I didn't go through, like I said, I only went through 3 or 4, but it was cool. It was a cool
It
start.
pretty much holds that.
Yeah.
It pretty much holds that in a very similar way that I think like the Milo tape, where I love to throw it on because it's
dude, I
such a
listened to
nice.
that one again recently. Oh my god.
Me
it's
too.
So good.
Me too. I'm going to continue.
Yeah,
I like
me
that.
too.
Really is like that's one of the best things
Mm-hmm.
I've heard in a long time. And so just the J one fits this very similar mood where you could throw those on back to back, and like yeah, it would continue the mood.
Yeah.
And there's some real gems in
Cool.
both of those when you just listen.
Yeah, you saw that text about, because that's when I was listening through the Milo one, when I texted you about how it sounds like FM Tree raps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it really did. He has like it really does sound like he's rapping to his kid on that thing sometimes. It's like he's having such a good time performing those raps.
It's the coolest.
Like you can really see him doing it while he's doing it in your head.
I agree, and I feel like all the ways that rapping can be boring to make, he kind of shows that they don't have to. Like, I just think his approach to rapping seems to be the most fun.
It seems so just, simplified. Like, just, we have good beats, and I'm just going to show you me rapping over them. But I'm not going to, like, overcomplicate it and worry about the catchiest thing or the big moment of each song, and just kind of perform those moments to higher and lower degrees. And I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's the difference, because like these aren't made to be played in a club, whereas I feel like a lot of rap is
Yeah,
a club, or at least a car, which this would be great in a car, but a wholly different kind of car. Whole different kind of car.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I'm after, because like I like to turn up even like once a day is good. It's great to turn up once a day. But for the rest of the day, something like that is great, and I really can't find enough of it.
And there are some moments that are more, loud and in your face than others. It's like the whole album goes through different places too. That's what's great. It's like that other EP we were just talking about is almost just stuck in this, like, it starts with like an intro outro kind of instrumental feel, and it's just kind of stuck in this hype place, where the Milo one is kind of comfortable not being hype and then getting hyper and never going too far with it. It's just really well crafted, and it's obviously not thought up that much how how it is crafted. It's very natural and genuine. Just
I think natural is the best word you could use.
Yeah.
It's incredibly organic.
it's just what he
and
does.
even just like right down to the way that he raps, which like makes it so fun for me to like just like have that kind of reference around. Is like he's not worried about getting back to rhyme with that and to pack it in. It's very much just like, okay, he said this and now it's going over here and now he's over here. Like it doesn't matter what the line before it was. The line before does not tell you what the next line is going to be.
And
which is great.
and that's funny because that's a lot of what Milo was before, or was doing before as well, but it wasn't working as well as it did here for some reason. It just works really well here. And sometimes you can't explain why. It's just that this album has something going for it. It just really is. It really is working.
Yeah, it seems like he almost had to prove it in the past, and then now he's just like, here.
I think that's what it is. I think in the past he was like doing it and it sounded like he was trying to prove what he was doing. Whereas this one, it just sounds like it's just what he's doing, and he doesn't feel pressure to prove what his style is or what he is doing at all. He's just doing. I think that's what's happening.
I think we're also, it feels like we're in a weird transition musically.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just my perspective on it.
Just in
Maybe
general,
I'm out of touch
just in
with
music
some
in
things.
general.
Yeah.
I think so too.
So.
I think that like we don't know where we are even right now.
Yeah, and especially if we're talking more from this like hip hop side of things.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I get the sense, I never got big into like the younger type thing, but I get the sense that people are a little maybe bored with that, maybe.
I mean, I think they have to be.
And then some of the giants that we've loved for our life are kind of at this weird spot where like, you know, Chance made a bad album.
Chance made a couple questionable moves and like,
which is dope. Like that's got me hyped for Chance, to be honest with you, because like I think that man's, he's gonna be all right. I think this was good for him. At least like from like I'm excited for it. But
yeah, I'm with it.
I don't know. I feel like even like Kanye's last album, not a failure at all, but definitely like the core Kanye fans, and the core hip hop fans don't know what to do with it.
Are you talking about? Did he do
Follow
Jesus?
God.
Yeah, is King or Follow God?
Jesus is King, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jesus is King is the title. Yeah, Follow God, I think is just a song. Yeah.
I never even listened to it, honestly.
It has a few moments, but like honestly, like it's a Christian album. Like, and actually, I know a handful of young Christians that aren't into rap that fucking love it.
Wow. That makes sense.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's not just gonna... it only, you know, he knows what he's doing. I'm not gonna act like he's faking a Christian album.
No, he's not. No.
You know,
no.
it's like...
it's a very real Christian album that's made by Kanye West.
I mean, he's feeling it. I haven't heard it, but I just know, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But that other Kanye shit, dude.
Yeah. I mean, Lift Yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like that whole article, and then they did that little video. GQ finally released that little video.
Yeah. Oh, they released a video. I mean, like after you're talking about the article.
Yeah. The guy that went out there.
I didn't see it. Yeah. Okay. The
guy
that wrote the article.
Yeah. You should throw it on. It's very short.
I will. Definitely.
There's a couple shots in there that you'll like it.
Yeah, I know. I know that'll be cool. That was such a good article. And
but anyways, with this whole transition, I am noticing this kind of underground style that's kind of bubbling up. It works in the Milo. You know, Jay Electronica, I don't know a lot about his story. He's kind of always been a name in our circle just because he, like, you know, he's on Max, like, you know, watching movies. He was on Control. You know, so he's always been a name, but, like, I never quite knew why.
Dude,
and, like, I think this is his first album.
He's been a mystery. He's kind of always been known for being mysterious and holding on to albums.
Which is so crazy.
Which is, like, what a cool story to have for yourself. Like, yeah, because he had some old stuff that he released. I remember me and my little brother were kind of into it. He had done a lot of, like,
sample work with like some John Bryan stuff, and he just like really, really good raps every time. And that was like a long time ago, so people were always waiting for like the album to drop. And I think that like people ended up waiting for like 15 years or something for that one he just dropped.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm traditionally not the hugest Jay-Z fan musically, but I've really come to enjoy him as a person. And since then, I've been going back and really having an appreciation for his music. But I just love how he comes onto that, and you can tell that he didn't just like. Usually, you'd think that'd be so forced, like, oh, yo, I got Jay-Z on my house, and like he's on every song. But like it's the most pure. It really seems to me like Jay-Z said yes to this project because he really is inspired by Jay Electronica, and I've never heard Jay-Z rap the way he raps on that. And it feels like Jay-Z's been making music for so long that I'm sure he's always looking for something to help him switch things up.
I mean,
it seems like he really found that.
He did stuff with Kanye, so you can tell he's a collaborative person. Like he's done full projects with people in the past, so like that just shows that he enjoys that side of music.
Yeah, and I really don't think
style.
I never gave him enough credit for how much he does switch things up. He takes risks.
Yeah. I would like to get to know more about Jay-Z. I just never have taken the time.
I mean, a good introduction is that David Letterman, my next guest, needs no introduction.
Oh, wow, he did that.
Yeah. That was what really kind of solidified it for me.
Okay, yeah.
He's just a very, very honest, very developed.
I mean, dude, he's a dad, man, at this point. Like, I don't know. Wait, does he has kids, right, with Beyonce or no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he just seems like a dad.
Very
like,
much.
He's so like it's hard to like be like, man, this guy's cool. I gotta look more into him when he's very much like a dad. But that is kind of cool to look into though, because I don't know much other.
Milo's a father as well.
Yeah.
I think it really works, and I think maybe that's. And this is probably also just showing my age and all this, but like that's kind of the wave that I'm looking forward to. Is like it's
these older artists.
Give me some wisdom, yeah, like because that's what I like about the old, like more classic music. You know, I want to hear Van Morrison or whomever. I love youth. Youth and music go hand in hand.
Stuff like those are old folk singing about their experiences. You know.
Yeah, and like
Neil
I think
Young.
music and youth. Yeah, when I do Neil Young, yeah.
Did you
good
ever
example of
listen to
someone
Helpless?
who's been great. I did, yeah, absolutely, and just incredible.
Yeah, so good.
But like, so all of those are guys that were incredibly talented in their youth, but also like when Cat Stevens gets to be however old Cat Stevens is now, Yosef, it's you just get a whole nother layer, and I'm excited that hip hop is getting a chance to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some wisdom.
I agree. I didn't think about that, but that'll be cool. It'll be cool to start to see these people get older and still going for it.
Yeah, because I feel like Snoop's been around, but he's just not quite doing
Snoop's
that.
not
Like,
the
he just
one.
like was so
He's the age,
he was just
but
so
he's
in
not
the
the
first.
one.
Exactly. And so I don't really know. I'm sure there are examples, but none that I'm familiar with of people that just have embraced that. Like, don't have to prove that there's
I wonder if
still
Mick Jenkins
something.
will get there. Because
I
like
could
he
see it.
got married, so like I could see that that start to show in his music, or like I guess I'm hoping it does, like just this different, more mature Mick, because that guy's a poet, man,
Absolutely.
and he's so skilled, such a skilled flower, dude. Oh man,
With a wicked confidence.
yeah, and a unique mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'll never forget drink more water.
I mean, like that thing,
that's all we needed to know.
That's stuck for good. Like people are still saying that. Some people are saying that and they don't even know. But like it's just such a good thing.
Yeah, bro. McConan was on one.
Yeah. Wow. It's happening somewhere right now.
That's so interesting. I do occasionally because I haven't thought of McConan like once since then. But I would be curious. I would be curious. Well, because he had the
he did
what
the
was
other.
it?
He did the water.
Just the waters.
Yeah.
did a couple of them. But like, it's just so funny. What's he up to? Is he? I don't know. I'm curious. Whenever a name pops up like that, I'm like, what's their last project?
Mm-hmm. He's definitely one that, man, I have no idea.
Do you remember Swayze at all?
Yeah, I remember
that,
that
like,
name a little.
They did like Buzzin' and Corona and Lime.
Yeah. It's like freshman year. Like earlier.
Well,
it's like high school.
No, yeah, earlier than that. Yeah. High school. Like, that's LimeWire.
Is that really
High school,
LimeWire?
middle school. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Met her
I
at
never
a
really...
backyard block party by the bar. But I listened to like their most recent album. Oh my god.
The what one?
Their most recent album. Like, I was just like, I think, because I listened to those like 2 or 3 songs. I was like, holy shit. Like, they were on one, bro.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is their 2020? Because it's either 2019 or 2020 that they released a project, and it's a big old swing and a mess. But like, it's really interesting though. Like, I mean, like, I listened to the whole thing, and it was fun to hear them again, and it's fun to just like juxtapose and just see where they're at, just use it as a moment to check in with them. But there was like one song that was just cracking me up because like I forget what the lyric was, but it makes it sound like it's the lyric sounds way too close to something else that just makes them sound really dumb. I might just have to like find this. Like, dude, I was just cracking up. Like, I added it to a playlist because it's like, for me, it was like funny enough that like playing it, like bumping it, like if you were to like put that on an aux.
If you think it's worth it, you can try and find it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom quick.
Perfect. I have been listening to that Future Islands, just that album, and that's been really impressive too, and just unreal. So I listen to that song almost every day, but the album itself is really good too. Okay, so the Swayze song is called Beach Boy, but it really sounds like Bitch Boy. I'm a bitch boy, bitch boy. Can you hear anything from like through the headphones?
2 a.m. I pass out, 7 a.m. I wake. You don't catch me at the surf shop, but I still be making them waves. And your girlfriend, she rave, even though she know I got a shave. And I might be a little bit crazy, but that's okay. I got more dick than Tracy, and more JoJo than Casey. Been with more KDs than Perry, down the wee like in Perry. More than one dad tried to scare me, cause I got more styles than Harry. I'm from Margaritaville like Jimmy Buffett, but lately I'm in the gym like Carrie.
Dude, this does not sound good.
Boy, what you nervous about? It's a lifestyle that you heard about. No word of mouth, just girls gone wild, goddamn. Told her she should dream on and get specific with the dream boy. She pulled up to the black tie with a tank top and a black eye. Roll it, light it, smoke it, it's okay. The Cali way. She likes the bitch,
Dude, it's so funny. Dude,
Yeah, so that's all.
that is so bad.
Yeah, I was just dying, and there was like
They
one
even, like,
other lyric that was
octaved
something
it
about like it sounded like he
up.
was eating ass. Something. What's up?
They even like octaved it up, like it
Bip,
just,
bip, bip, bitch boy.
they got the helium effect.
But like sonically, it's not terrible. But dude, I was dying.
I mean, it sounds like it's made in a pro studio, but I think it's exactly what we were talking about before. With Milo really enhances or like doesn't use anything that makes what makes rap seem boring to make. Like that right there would take so much effort to make sound good, and it shows that you can make anything sound good. But Milo doesn't do any of that and just sounds good.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Dude, kind of on the side of sounding good though. I'm not the biggest Travis Scott fan, and I'm also not the biggest Fortnite fan. but I did watch that concert, dude, and that blew my mind.
I did not. I don't
I
even
was
know what
fully
this
on board.
is.
Okay, so basically Fortnite has been doing concerts, I think, for a couple years now, but this was like each one kind of gets bigger and bigger. So from what I gather on this one, they announced this Travis Scott concert that's going to take place on Fortnite, and this is during all this quarantine stuff. And so they kind of have this whole world where they're building this little stage. And you could while they were building it for like 2 weeks or whatever, you could join the map and you're running around, you could kill each other. You weren't really playing the game, but you could just like kill each other on the map while people were building the stage.
In the video game?
In the video game.
What?
A video game stage that a video game Travis Scott is going to perform, and
Dude,
the audience,
what?
the audience is your character in Fortnite. You go and you spectate this concert as your character.
I'm like, I cannot believe this, but okay, continue.
But you're with me on the concept. Yeah,
I know what it is, but I cannot believe that this happened.
Yeah, but then so basically like everybody's like waiting around. Then like when the actual event came on, you couldn't use your gun or anything. You could just like, I think you could run around. I'm guessing. You could use your little emotes to like dance certain dances, like you're like head bobbing or whatever.
Could you buy a beer?
Well, if you're 21, you may be. This was 21 and under. The 21 and under party though, mostly. Yeah, you got that. But he essentially comes in like, you know, from like outer space, and he's like giant. Like he's like way bigger than the stage, and he just starts running over the whole world. Like it's so funny. He doesn't use the stage like at all. And then like, you know, like Kid Cudi and the Scots, like, you know, for the Scots song, they're just like on another planet. It's like going underwater. Like it really just was like fucking crazy and like really cool to watch.
I cannot believe this.
Bro, it's pretty cool. And like now there's just like a video compilation of the whole thing. Like I don't know. I think it would have been even cooler to like be, you know, there for it. But it's worth checking out. Like I just like, and plus like you have to tip your hat to like the level of hype that Travis Scott has been. You know, like sicko mode, whatever happened to it, you know. Mm-hmm. You can't take away the fact that like, yeah, if you just like picked up a CD on the sidewalk, put it in a player, and that's a song you heard, like you'd be pretty stoked.
Yeah, I understand, dude. Travis Scott, I respect Travis Scott. I don't listen to him ever, and that Fortnite stuff just sounds wild. But I do also respect their ability to make a video game that's so successful and so many people like. But it's not me.
Well, it was really interesting too. Oh yeah, I will never download that game.
I don't even know
but
if
it's
I'll watch
interesting.
the vid, but it does like
You should just watch the vid to know that it exists.
I like what I see in my head from it right now from you, and I don't know if what I see will make me feel better or, you know, I don't know.
It's only 15 minutes.
Damn.
It's not like a full hour or anything. Yeah, they're like kind of like mashed up a little bit. Just to know that it exists. You can even just watch the Scots
For
clip
sure.
of it or something. It's interesting just because it feels so right on time.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to, and like there's a lot of, I read through a lot of the comments on YouTube too of it, and like a lot of people were saying like, you know, kind of like a white 12-year-old sees Travis Scott and goes, hey, that's the guy with dreadlocks from Fortnite, and they're kind of like making fun of that, but like really it's like, no, like you don't understand, like now all of these white 12-year-olds have this like reference to like pretty legitimate hip-hop. Like they were just exposed to something like way better than like the Fortnite music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that there is like legitimate cultural value there, and like that actually is like kind of beautiful.
That's true. That's a good point.
And just to be honest with you, like I wouldn't be that interested with it if we were allowed to go to concerts right now. But in terms of quarantine, it's the coolest concert I think you could have experienced if you were on that at that time, and especially like for teenagers that like, or like, you know, if you're talking about a 12-year-old, you really can't just like take your mom's van and go to a show.
Yeah, you would never
And
be
I think
able to
even-
see Travis Scott.
You would never be able to see Travis Scott. Yeah. And so like that, I think is a legitimate experience, especially under house arrest, quarantine.
Yeah. I
And
totally
there was
hear
even
that.
one little article that's like, Travis Scott's big success, all this, but he's not the only artist doing things like this. And then it kind of just referenced everyone on Instagram Live performing songs, which is great. I'm a huge fan of that. It's very organic, but those two things are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And one is a lot more forward looking.
Yeah. Like the Instagram ones aren't great.
Yeah, just like the audio quality makes it hard.
Yeah, Ellie's,
They are fun
Ellie's
'cause you
gonna
still get
do a festival coming up, but it's like she doesn't do it from her room. Like they actually bring her to a place and then they videotape it professionally and record it professionally. So like it is kind of like one of those like radio performances almost on YouTube, and I think those are cool. It's
completely.
like it's the bedroom iPhone Samsung videos that just don't. Or like, you know, realistically, they're just not. People don't want to watch that.
Yeah, they're okay, but they're just
okay.
like they don't quite give you the fix.
Yeah, hopefully they're fun to do. Hopefully you have fun performing, because like if you're just doing this to show people your songs, it's not the best way.
Not the best way.
It's now's the time to do some studio recording.
Yeah.
Release a music video.
I did send an email to Pigeons and Plans yesterday.
Really?
I don't think we've heard back yet.
You
But,
sent it with like the YouTube link?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been fun to just like kind of check the email.
Yeah, man. I think that's
I just
a good
felt
move.
like I had to. Yeah, I felt like I just had to send it. I'm glad that I did.
Even if nothing happens, it's like I told you I told you a while ago how I submitted Seeing Things to some website.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get anything back for that, and I'm not surprised that I didn't, but I was glad I did it, you know?
Yeah, I don't want it to be a question mark. I'd rather than
Like
not
I don't
respond.
know how do we only know that we made some true material. This was some genuine work, you know, with these
Sure.
projects, with your album, your video, you know, Seeing Things. It's like these are things that we know are genuine and true, and we see them as that, and who knows who else will, but somebody might.
Yeah, and I think with both of those projects too, it's like we've kind of already achieved what we set out to.
Mm-hmm.
Our
Exactly.
goal was
We did
never
it.
anything more. Yeah, our goal was just to do it.
We did
and
it.
then to
So
watch
it's
it,
like-
and then hopefully to get a few friends to be like, "Dude, that's dope." Be like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
you like that, man? Thanks."
Mhm.
And that we
Yeah.
got that, you know. So it's like it is done, but now it's just like kind of interesting to be like, well,
It's cool
What
to
if we
illuminate this part of the process, the part where you're done and you got to start sharing it places and seeing what people think, and especially places where you don't know anybody and they don't know you, and they can see it kind of open-mindedly and curiously and maybe correctly.
yeah, that's a big one because it's a lot easier to convince someone that knows you.
Yeah, like if you, especially like Seeing Things, I feel like, because that one is very like I'm starring in it, you know, and I wrote it. Like it's kind of about my life, and I guess maybe I'm seeing this from my own perspective too much. Like to me, it's just very much about my life, and maybe it's not that way to other people, but I've always viewed it as something that has been super important. You know me to really see it the way it is and what I was doing. I don't know. But
Yeah.
maybe I'm off there. And I've always thought yours was a little bit more like just cool and less dependent on your personality, but it does make it easier, and it showcases and it emphasizes your personality. I've always just seen it as like a little differently though.
That's
Like
interesting.
my like Seeing Things and your album. Like just
Sure.
looking at those two in particular.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking it's interesting because I do feel like my album stands on its own But there's also like some parts where I'm like, I just like want to be there to be able to give the cliff notes of like, no, like this shit happened like that. What I said, here's like what the situation was,
Yeah,
and here's how I put it into words. Like, did you get that?
You're
Like,
right. You're right.
Which I think is the way every artist feels about everything.
Yeah.
But even like that one song, like Ticks, the unreleased song that I sometimes forget that I have. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever made.
I mean, that could be a cool one to try and work on again.
Well, I mean, like that's the one where I'm really, part of me just wants to put it out.
Oh yeah,
just
you
for
kind of
shits and
already
gigs.
did.
It's finished.
It's already done. I remember now.
It's finished. So it's either
Dude,
just
we should
drop
do a video.
That could be interesting.
I mean, continue though. That's a different. That's a different.
Yeah,
combo.
the other
Like,
thing
what
is
were you
like,
thinking?
well, just if I do, because I'm at the point where I don't know if I'm ready to like start a project. Mostly logistically.
I don't think you need to.
But if I do, I mean, like, it's just like, it's already such a good start to a project that I don't want to, like, if I were to make 3 more songs, then I'd be really upset that I already released that one.
Oh,
Does that make sense? Like, it's such a solid foundation for what could be the next project. I don't want to drop it as a one-off. Because, like, even just, like, yeah.
Here's an option. Maybe we can take this as we're not there yet, although we are making that work now. So, what if you released it as a single? I mean, this is something I've always strayed away from. But, you know, at a certain point, we have to adapt and we have to change a little bit, maybe. And you release it as a single because you're not sure if you're going to have those 3 more. But it is kind of relevant in time and in terms of, like, music, dude. And I don't know, like, your life, like, you already had Limes, you know? So the longer you hold on to it, maybe the more and more you'll fade away from the feeling of that song, which I don't know if that's true, but maybe. And maybe you could release it and maybe say you work on a few more songs that also work with it. You can also put it in a project later. And in a way that's more like, well, nobody was here yet anyway. So a lot of people are hearing this project and have never heard that other song yet. Like there might be a lot of new people by the time you do make those other songs that haven't heard this one and that could get it later. And there could also be people that are ready for it now. Like, I don't know. Does that make sense?
I see what you're saying. I think that's an option as well.
It's hard to say if it's a good one though.
How soon until you feel comfortable chilling?
Yeah. I think that, like, in terms of with a big group.
No. I mean, like
me and you.
In terms of machine.
I think
you
that
don't. Yeah.
I could come to Ames.
Mm.
I think I'd be more comfortable doing that than just because I have the house full of people here.
Sure.
Like, I mean, we could chill in my backyard for sure, but like machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd have to come to your place. And I think that would be totally doable. And I think it could be kind of fun to like just spend a day on it and then dip. I mean, I could stay longer too, but who knows? But like even just to like give it a full day would be fun to even kind of cap it and just like see what we can do on a day.
Well, yeah, and it's nice to know that because I can fully record and even do some mixing and mastering with my software.
Yeah.
What I don't have,
you don't have is a
nearly
beat
sufficient is beat making, and I can't really do the rest without that.
I mean,
but I am
could
kind of
even
just now
drop
that
you off the pad
Well, I don't have a machine.
and the ThinkPad.
Oh, the ThinkPad. Wow, because you're on the Surface these days.
I'm on the Surface. You know, I'm not doing anything musically.
That's not bad.
You heard that Snapchat. That singing?
Dude, that was kind of dope.
Sometimes. Yeah, dude. I was trying to get into this, like, Sinatra-ish. Sometimes. I don't even know. I can't even do it right now, but...
It was great, yeah.
Some big voice, you know?
Yeah.
I was having fun with that, but that's all I've done in the past few months, so... but yeah, so I could just drop off the pad and even the keyboard that I have, because does yours not plug directly in for machine?
There's a way to do it.
Is it
Right now,
MIDI?
Peter, I gave it. Yeah.
Yeah,
MIDI.
dude, no. I'll just give you my keyboard with, that way you can just kind of really easily just printer cable it in.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Because
I think
I
that
do
would-
have
that would-
I have
that
the
would
MIDI
be what
cord,
I
but I
would-
gave the keyboard to Peter for quarantine.
For sure. Dude, my keyboard is literally just a decoration right now in my room. So
That could be dope, and maybe we just
I
spend
think that would be
like
great.
one day.
Like we could
trying to-
spend a day on it, but I could definitely just plan on leaving it there because
that shit takes time, and I haven't made a beat in so long. I don't really plan to be able to just come on and snap.
I don't plan on being able to stop in that day and just be like, yo, you ready for this? I'm gonna just hit this quick and get your raps organized, and no, I'm not gonna be able to do it. So
But dude, now that it's summertime, it's like I'd be crazy. I feel like I'd be crazy to not give it a little bit of a push.
your portfolio is due Friday, so like, dude, you're about to be summer.
Yeah, about to be
So-
absolutely summer.
So it'll be great for you, I feel like, to just have it around. Like right now, I'm so locked in on writing and filmmaking that like I have nothing going on with music. It makes no sense for me to have it.
That'd be awesome.
So the question is, should I just wait until after your trip to Wisconsin?
Yeah.
It's-
Well, we're doing that tomorrow.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, we're leaving in the
I
morning.
thought you said the weekend for some reason.
Nah.
Okay.
But I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah. So you're heading tomorrow for the week?
No. Well, we'll go up tomorrow. Come back tomorrow night probably.
I'm all
Or I
over
mean,
the
the
place.
next day. The next day. We'll leave tomorrow. Come back the night after. And then I think that leaves me Thursday and Friday afternoon for my portfolio. If
Cool. Yeah.
And then so maybe like this weekend would be a good time, or next week doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just figure it out. We'll see what Bryce is thinking too. He said his parents have been, they went and hung out with a few people this last week. So he's like ready to test the waters on it maybe, but not fully ready, and doesn't think his parents will necessarily let him, but they might is what he's saying. So we could even try and talk with Bryce. See if this week could be decent.
Oh, that'd be crazy. I'm gonna take a leak.
That might be too tough.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel
we're
about that.
feeling it out. Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down, but I do think that Bryce can make up herself. Because even if his parents are hanging out with people from Jones County, that's different than
Yeah. That's true. Maybe I could, yeah. Maybe I could like Thursday or something. But like you'd have to be probably done with the portfolio. Because if it's getting to Thursday and you've gone to Wisconsin already, you're probably not going to get much done with the portfolio in the next few days.
Oh yeah, I don't think I can do this until after Friday.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, that'd be good. I think maybe the weekends I'm kind of filled, but during the week I'm totally free.
Yeah, so just check out. We'll get sometime tomorrow week. I like that word actually.
Tomorrow week.
Well, and we've got two controllers now on PlayStation 4, so if Bryce can't come, we can always play video games with him via PlayStation.
Yeah, that could be dope. I could check out that new COD.
Dude, yeah, it's intense. We need a good sniper, and actually sniping's like OP in this game. Neither of us like to do it.
Yeah, that one time we were watching that Twitch stream of Bryce play, he picked up the sniper and got a few kills with it. So I kind of said, like, you were looking nice with that sniper, bro. I was like, talking about how it looked like it'd be fun to use. And he was like, dude, it's so easy. Like, there's no way I would be able to normally get a couple kills if I picked up a sniper, like, in older games. Like, this one is just super good. So I would definitely be down to try that one out. You can it's just overkill all the time.
Yeah, maybe you need I don't know. You might need pretty much. I think it's maybe just a perk 2. But there's no stopping power, so like you can pretty
You
much
might as
put
well.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't do it, but I'm actually don't like that about the game. I haven't played in a couple weeks, I don't think.
Oh, really?
Not COD.
Just
I've been playing this
Rocket League.
No, well, we played a little bit of Rocket League, but I was playing it's called 3-on-3 Freestyle. It's this like sorry, I'm breathing. Ran up and down the stairs. It's like this NBA street. It's like this bootleg NBA street where everybody moves like really slow. And it's entirely free. Me and Bryce we played dirt for a really long time, like dirt racing one day. And then we just downloaded that game because it was free. And we were just playing each other one-on-one. And we got like really competitive. And then so I've been like just kind of carrying over and playing like online. Because that was the one I sent you where I was 2% in the world for a bit. I
couldn't tell what game that was.
Yeah, 3v3 online.
See, I thought it was. I was like, does Call of Duty have like a new ranking system, like based on percentage?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
no,
like,
I mean, not a lot of people play this game. It's a weird game, and I'm already getting kind of over it. But then Bryce is on sending me snaps today, and he's starting to really get into it. So like, I might get back. It's really dumb, but like, it's fun.
You didn't watch Entertainment, did you?
I did.
Really? What'd you think, dude?
Yeah, I mean, it was incredibly unique. I'm trying to think, because I think I watched it either the day that I talked to you or the day after. So it's been close to a week now.
I'm glad that worked, like, to sign in.
Dude, actually, sick fashion. Like, some mean style. Right down to the main character. Like, dude, some of his hats were just so sick.
Yeah.
When he's, like,
Great
performing.
cinematography.
Yeah, cinematography is insane. When he's holding all of the drinks in his arm when he's performing, that was killing me. And what is it, John C. Reilly? He had some really good moments. Even just like around that table where he's there with like his wife and his wife's father, and they don't speak the same language.
The little Hispanic, like, and I love that moment where the father of his wife, like, is this Hispanic dude who clearly can't speak English.
Yeah.
And he starts talking when John C. Reilly and his wife leave. He starts talking to that main character, that comedian, just like one-on-one a little bit in Spanish.
Yeah.
And you can clearly tell that he doesn't understand the Spanish, but he just starts repeating one word that the other guy started laughing after and laughing with it over and over just to like try and act.
Well, because
like,
the guy, he makes the motion like, I just want to kill him. Like,
yeah,
the Mexican father.
Like,
Yeah,
he's
so
like,
then the comedian just keeps doing it.
yeah, like he doesn't know what he's saying, but like he's just like agreeing with it with that motion, just like.
Yeah, well, I think right.
He sees the comedy in the motion, but he also is like doing it to like just be like, yeah, man, exactly, because it's so easy to just agree with somebody, you know.
And that was like the most comfortable the character ever was. That's the only time really the character ever made a joke not on stage was when the guy when they didn't speak the same language.
Yeah.
Because other than that, he's always just like, it's my job. Like, it's my... Like, there's some really good dialogue, especially, like, after, like, the very first heckler. And I think right when he meets John C. Reilly, it's like, these fucking clubs, man. They don't have security. Like, it's my job. And, like, and John C. Reilly says, he's like, it's your job. And he's like, it's my job. And he says, like, 4 times. It's like, I'm just trying to do my... I'm just trying to do my job.
And he was just... rambling about that on stage too in his character's voice, so like to hear him like do it again in like normal conversational voice, I just thought that there was so many little things like that in the movie that I just really loved. Yeah, just such a unique movie, man.
Definitely unique. Definitely.
Yeah,
it does. I want to watch The Mountain now, actually.
Dude, you should. It's just, you should. It's really cool cinematography too, and man, you like Goldblum, so
I'll take anything.
So just do it. And that clown guy is like the other main guy in it, so it's
really
a similar cast. Yeah,
that was interesting because like his sets were kind of fun.
Yeah, dude, that one at the very beginning, I love it. Just sets the tone, man. Where he just starts like clapping, and they all start clapping,
and like nothing happens.
It's such a weird, that movie is so confident in its weirdness.
Yeah. I liked all of his touring, too. Parts of it felt like rubber.
Yeah. Yeah, like that desert feel. And like that Michael Cera moment. Dude, I was stuck in that moment. I was stuck in that moment, dude. I was there with them. I
forgot all about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that moment,
and
dude.
And then
Michael
there was
Cera.
even that birth. I really like Michael
see,
Cera.
that's what I was trying to talk about. Like, he just happens to go through a really strange sequence of nights on this tour. And I think that that's just part of, like, I really got that sense of this story being, like, when you go out and do things that are different, like, go out and go on a tour, and, you know, like, strange moments and stuff will follow you and be around you. And you'll be thrown into situations you couldn't have predicted by going and doing stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's what I saw in the movie as, like, a big theme in the way that the world worked.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Well, he even goes out of his way too. Like every stop, he's doing the weird like touristy thing that he never talks about, and he never really even engages. He goes and then he just kind of turns away.
Mm-hmm.
What you
Yeah,
eating?
man. I'm eating, you know, an oats and honey.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I honestly haven't eaten anything today, but one of these earlier.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. I saw Naval tweet, "You are most productive when you are a little hungry." And I was just kind of like, interesting. And I just like, I get in my zones in the morning, so I naturally like had seen that and just started testing how long I could go with working before eating, and found that I could really go till like 2 or 3 every day without eating much more than a granola bar, and was doing pretty well with it. So I just kind of have gotten into that routine a little bit, but today I just did it out of kind of laziness and yeah.
I really
lack
like
of hunger.
the Alex Honnold approach. You know, the rock climber. I saw a little clip where he's just like he just kind of always has snacks on him, and then like so in between climbs he'll just be snacking, and he's just like, yeah, I mean, I don't really like see the point in like getting hungry, so like I pretty much just like snack all day. Dude, he's like the greatest.
That's good. That's me with coffee. I don't really see the point in being tired, so I just drink coffee all day.
Yeah, dude, respect. I love that you can do that.
We tried your cocktail.
Yeah. How'd that turn out for you?
Well, I happened to drink a decent amount the past few days, and also that afternoon. So we had a friend Charlie over and just chilling in the backyard, and he was smoking some cigarettes, and I ended up taking one. So I just kind of felt weird already, man. I was just like this weird state of not drunk, but had been drinking for a while and drank a lot the day before and smoked a little bit of a cigarette and didn't finish your cocktail.
That's good. I've actually never even made that personal cocktail, but I was just asked for a recommendation. I thought that would work.
It was fun. Ellie was, we both were kind of in the same zone.
Really?
We had split the cigarette, so yeah, the exact same zone.
That's funny.
But it was fun. Yeah, we all
You watched
enjoyed
the
it.
film?
No, I actually fell asleep while watching Elon and Rogan.
No shit. How far did you make it?
Probably about an hour.
Okay. I mean, I thought that the first hour was more interesting. They kind of get to just COVID stuff.
AI in like the next 10 years?
That brain implant.
Yeah, where we don't have to talk to each other?
Oh, and just paraplegic standing up. Just playing sports. Even when he said Alzheimer's, that one really like stuck out to me. Just because I've kind of always, it's been in my family. I've seen it. Just the way that I feel like my mind works. Wouldn't be terribly surprised if that's my fate. So when he said that, like, someone with Alzheimer's, like, you could like bring back memory. I was like, what the fuck? Like, weirdly to me, that seems like more far-fetched than like standing up or like giving vision to the blind.
You can get in your memories, and you can even alter the way you remember them, he said, right?
I don't know, but that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They also did just casually mention, like, what is it? The save, essentially. Save date. Just essentially, like, yeah, just like save and store where you're at.
Oh, wow.
Consciously.
Yeah. And you could just replay from this point.
Well, yeah, or you could, put it into a to another body. Like,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
like
yeah.
the
You could create
sci-fi
another
shit.
you.
Like,
You could create another
yeah.
you. Like
yeah,
everything that you are made up of right now, you can save and implement into another human.
yeah. And Elon's kind of like, well, I mean, yeah, it'd be like like you'd feel a little different.
But you're a little different when you wake up.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Which I love how casually, like, you just like,
He's like,
Well-
yeah, you'll feel like you.
well, yeah, like you'll be a little bit, but, like you'll feel like yeah, like mostly like yeah. I just love just like completely just like taking this like really realistic, down to earth approach on like this like deeply philosophical question.
Yeah.
Like, are you still you if you upload your consciousness to another people? Well,
It's like you're never you.
you'll feel like a little different.
Dude, you're right. That was really good. That was incredible.
I'm just a huge fan of that guy.
Man.
Well, he's launching.
I definitely
Actually,
was watching it and thinking like, yeah, this guy just isn't like anybody else. Like, he's just not like anybody else on this podcast. And like, I don't watch much, but like, you know, that's just saying he's not like anybody else because everybody's on there.
yeah, yeah.
So it was fun to watch in that way and just kind of view Elon and know that he's just a figure so big and will be so remembered and known.
Yeah, dude, he's just an incredible thinker.
Yeah.
I've never really heard something that he said and been like, oh, I mean, he's clearly wrong.
Yeah, I
Just
can't
because it's
just
so
act
well
like
considered.
I know more than him in any situation or any claim that he makes.
Yeah, because he won't bullshit. Like, he will only...
He holds in until he knows what he's about to say.
You're exactly right. And then he
Yeah.
also is just deeply curious, so he will research and figure out what
The
actually
crazy
makes
part
sense where.
is people view him as somebody that'll just spew. But really, that's just like how unique he is. He doesn't throw things out there and he talks a lot. Like on social media, you know?
Yeah,
So it's
dude,
like,
the Twitter part, I think, is where, like, a lot of that shit comes out. It's so weird. I mean, like, as a diehard Elon fan, I have a hard time really... Like, I'm trying to get more people to explain to me why they don't like him. And I feel like the Twitter part could be part of it. They don't understand it. But, like, dude, he's just having fun.
yeah.
Dude,
He's
like,
just like anybody else, you know? He's just tweeting.
Yeah, I came up with an article today on, like, my, like, investment app that was like, Elon Musk tweets, take the red pill. Now, he could be referencing the movie The Matrix, or he's saying that, like, the step to the Republican Party. And I'm like, bro, I don't know, maybe he is saying that, but either way, y'all need to, like, not be writing articles about his tweet about the red pill.
Yeah. Like, you're
Like,
supposed
he
to
also
just
posts
like it,
memes, like
retweet
his-
it, or reply to it. You don't have to write an article on it.
Yeah, it's just nuts. But SpaceX is, I think, on, like, either the 23rd or the 27th. Of this month here, doing the first manned launch on American soil since, like, pretty much the last decade. I think 2011 was the last one. They're doing it from Cape Canaveral. But so you can't attend with the COVID situation, but semi-historic.
Yeah.
Probably live stream that.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh, because I guess I didn't tell you. I've been watching this. It's a Apple TV original called For All Mankind, and the reason I heard about it, I was listening to a podcast. I'm not sure. I think it was probably yeah. It was,
TV original.
yeah, I got the free because I have Apple Music and I'm a student, so they give you Apple TV for free for some time. It never said how long. Yeah. It's like not like the
in Apple TV.
no Apple TV
The
like
Apple
is
TV
like
subscription.
yes,
Streaming service.
a streaming service, exactly.
Apple
yeah, I see the
TV.
confusion there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was this one of our American astronauts who spent like I think he was just shy of the record for longest time spent on the International Space Station. Which maybe Scott Kelly is longer now. I don't know. But anyways, he was just like talking about, well, he had a really great moment. So this is a tangent where he's talking about when he first went up there, he gets into the ship and there's one window that faces the Earth, you know? And so he's always heard about that moment where you look out the window and you see Earth and you realize that there's no borders. We are all one. Everyone you've ever known is right there. And so he doesn't just look out the window. He takes a moment. He shuts his eyes before he looks. And he takes a deep breath and gets himself ready for this moment. And when he finally feels like he's ready, he opens his eyes and he just thinks, He's like, yeah, I mean, if you've seen the pictures, you've pretty much seen it.
Wow.
He's like, dude, a spacewalk would be crazy, but if you're just looking from that window, the photos are better. Dude, so I was just sold on this guy. But he was talking about you get to pick a handful of like TV shows to bring with you to keep you occupied. And he was watching Battlestar Galactica.
What?
And then you also, from the space station watching Battlestar Galactica, which I've never seen that, but it sounds badass.
I mean, that's what like Dwight Schrute is known for watching.
Yeah, it's a sci-fi classic. And then so you get to like phone a celebrity at a certain point, just kind of as like a fun perk. You can just kind of pick anybody. And so he was like, yeah, give me the creators of Battlestar Galactica. And he's, Skyping
Dude, this guy
from the
sounds
space station.
like he is Dwight Schrute. Like, I could see Dwight looking at the window and saying, pictures are better.
But basically then he gets a call from those guys like a long time, like, well, I don't know, however long later, but when he's back on Earth and stuff. And they had a couple ideas for a new show. And so basically this one that I'm watching now, it takes place during the space race. The Soviets versus the United States race for the moon, but the Russians win. And so it's like this really, it's pretty much like you're even like a lot of the names, a lot of the people are the same people and you're learning the real stories. But since Russia got there first, it like people kind of thought like, okay, this is the downfall of the United States. Because like at the time, like the United States were like, fighting this war in Vietnam that like really like split the population, and there's like riots on campus and police are beating them, and like just like there's like this racial divide, there's like this inequality, and like the women's rights movement is like still kind of like stuck. It was just like the country was like in turmoil, and then Russia was kind of like showing like, hey, like we're actually killing it right now. So people thought like this could be the end of the whole thing. And so they go through this phase where just Russia is kicking their ass on everything. And then, like, the presidency, like, I like Ted Kennedy wins the presidency. But it's sort of, I'm at the point where they're starting to, like, now. So rather, they were going to build the International Space Station. But instead, they found blueprints that Russia was trying to build a military base on the moon. So they did that. They converted the space station into this, like, military moon base. That they got on the moon right before Russia. So it's not quite military yet, but they have a base. Instead of the space station, they built a base on the moon. And they discovered ice on the moon, which is something we actually did in like 2018, I think. Maybe 11. I don't fucking know. But more recently than that. So they're at this weird spot where like their achievements are like a little bit beyond what we have in real life, but it's still in the past, but it's not like way futuristic. It's just like they took a slightly different path.
Near future fiction story.
But still in the past. It's just like they had more drive. Because we kind of like got to the moon first. And we're like, yep, we're still the best. Let's kick it. Build a space station. Chill there for the next 40 years. Whereas like they kind of had more fire under their ass because they had to race Russia. They had to prove. Because then even like Russia like got to the moon. And then it was like Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong. It was like their mission next, Apollo 12. They had to rush it though to get like just to make themselves look less bad. And it went a little sketchy, but they landed it. And then like immediately after, the Russians like put a woman on the moon. And it was like this huge like moment for like womanhood, looking at her. It's just really well done. Even like the show kind of starts with like you don't even necessarily know what the show's about, but you're just seeing everybody watching the transmission of the first moon landing. And you're seeing the bars all around the world. Everybody's gathered. Like there's like a woman in Mexico with her daughter, and she's like sick, and the doctor told her she should go to bed, but she's like, no, like my daughter's gonna remember this for the rest of her life. I want her to remember me here. And you kind of see like America though. Everybody in the bar is like pensive, and you're not really sure like why. And then when they show the guy get off the shuttle and plant plant the flag, or like right when he touches the ground, he says these words in Russian, and they don't put subtitles on them. And the news guy's kind of like, well, obviously we don't know what the first words on the moon were, but we'll get a translation here in a second. And so it's just like really interesting to feel how disconnected we are from this event just by missing it by a couple weeks. But so it's just been a really, really fascinating show. Lots of twists and turns, but like really just like having it be different from reality, but still holding a lot of the truths. I'm constantly like reading about like what actually happened.
It feels real, but it's just slightly created.
Yeah, and so that actually makes it more fascinating to like, because then you have to question what actually happened, you know?
Yeah.
Rather than like if it was
It's
just
not
telling you what
trying to
happened,
be
it wouldn't be that.
far-fetched.
No, not at all. It's like
Yeah,
this could
it's
have
trying
actually
to be a realistic
been.
show, and it's just pointing at that as like
It's
a possible
realistic,
story.
exactly. That. What if we changed one detail? How else would you do it? How else would it unfold?
That's pretty cool.
So even like Nixon feels like it's a horrible look for him. Everybody's gonna blame it on him, so he tries to blame it on like the leader of NASA. And so they kind of expose the leader of NASA was a former German scientist who was a member of the SS, who had pictures taken with Hitler, who like his plants were ran by concentration workers. And he invented this rocket that was turned into the V2 missile that killed a bunch of people, but even more people were killed creating it. And he was saying, well, I didn't work there. I visited the plant, but I didn't work there. And like, dude, the concentration camp was half a mile away. Like, you knew. And they get him like, so he's not charged with any war crimes, but he gets like fired from it. And like, so that was like, I was looking it all up and it's all real.
Yeah.
And it's a really weird,
Dang.
it's this weird great, I mean, it's a very complicated issue and you'd have to do more than just read for a couple hours on it than what I did. But because it's kind of like, yes, he was like
He was real close by.
The whole American space mission was essentially, it was successful because of these Nazi scientists, former Nazi scientists. But it was also like, his perspective was like, he was always a man of science. He always cared about space. He wanted to get people to Mars. He had no intention of making missiles or any military thing, but he lived in Germany. And so when the Nazis were taking over, it was essentially like he either had to work with them or be killed. Or you could like try to flee. But basically, or leave. But he's spent his whole life creating this lab, working on all this. He's coming up with these big breakthroughs, cutting edge technology.
Right during this unfortunate time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, it was just kind of what had happened. He was strong-armed into it. It would be like
and he ended up doing stuff for Nixon?
Well, so when the war is ending, they buried all of their blueprints and all of their progress. They buried everything that they learned. And then I think that the Russians found the lab. And they just told him, like, nah. And then all of those guys chose to go to America. All the scientists chose to take their work to America.
Oh.
Because they felt like it'd be better for their work, you know, rather than working under the Russian situation.
Yeah.
So they took all of their work to America, and then finally they were able to do the positive. They could build rockets that weren't weapons, and they could continue on their mission. And so, like, he really, like, at least in the show, the characters, like, he's a great figure, well liked by everyone, I think, as the real Von Braun was. But then once they unfold that story just by saying it, and when you don't like really think about it, it's just like it's enough to. I mean, yeah, he got fired. At least I don't know actually what happened. But it's just
real history.
Yeah, and that's just it is. It's a complicated moral one.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been doing much history or haven't been doing much reading even or anything. You know, just pretty locked in on camera stuff and writing. I watched Honey Boy last night.
Oh, no shit.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, me and Cassie watched it.
It was pretty cool. Shia is the man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it would be so weird to play your dad in a movie. Especially that dad. And like Yeah, I don't know. I don't love like flashback type movies and flash forward, and I don't like that style that much, but I thought it was well done.
Yeah. Yeah, really well done. Like, and you could see how,
Music was cool. Yeah.
like, that was you could tell that that was the project he wanted to make.
Yeah, yeah. And you could tell he thought about it a lot, like he really crafted it. Like it wasn't lacking detail or wasn't feeling cliche, like he, I mean, it was his life, so it's obviously unique. And it's interesting to see his life, man. He had a really wild life. And I never knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard not to sympathize with him, even though I kind of always had,
Yeah.
because he kind of had a weird reputation there for a little bit, which was actually when I got most excited.
Yeah, when he was like really just unpredictable and
Yeah.
loud and aggressive.
Yeah.
And man, they portrayed that, and that was cool. I thought that was cool of him to like show that, and like it didn't feel like, hey everybody, I was totally normal. Like it's all just this weird thing that I went through when I was a kid that made me like this. It really just felt like he was aware that his life went down a weird path and made him that way, and it was worth showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a real artist.
Yeah.
And that goes beyond the art of acting and directing. He's in the performance art. Like he's really got his hand in a lot of places and seems to be trying to live uniquely.
Yeah. And always and these days, just very positively.
I would agree with that, yeah. You can definitely learn some things listening to him talk.
Yeah. Then I watched another Fellini.
I saw your tweet.
That dude's a goof, man. He did this movie where it's just like an orchestra practice, like the whole movie, and he just filled this orchestra with like the richest, like in character, like rich Italian character, like, which is so goofy and so funny, like just a bunch of funny guys. Italian funny guys, and trying to talk about why their instrument's the best. And so it's one of those where like the movie cameras are in the room and like the characters are talking to them, like, hey, they chose to film us today, sort of thing. And so like they go around trying to interview like people that play certain instruments, and they give their 2 cents on their instruments and why they're the best, and other things that are going on. Like when they're all first arriving, they're like, one of them's talking about some sporting event that's happening that night, and how they don't know if they can listen to it or not, or because it gets too stressful. It was just, it's called like The Orchestra or something like that, but it was real entertaining, and it was quick. It was like a 70-minute movie, like just like.
That's kind of nice.
Just a quick one. Yeah, real quick one.
I liked, so it's like it's framed around the orchestra, but it could almost be anywhere. Like you'd almost, like if they're just talking about why their instrument's the best and the game's too stressful. Does that kind of make it bigger? Like just like it's pretty much, you could walk into any job and you'd hear what they do is the best and why they can't watch the job.
I think that the orchestra was an interesting one to look at. They had some like, it wasn't just like, they had some unique things to say about their instruments, or their reasonings why they're the best, or and the director or the composer is like this really far out character that's super pessimistic, and nobody likes the conductor. And there's also this aspect of time where like back in the day the conductor was the most respected person and everybody trusted him, whereas now nobody listens to the conductor and it's just a job and nobody plays for passion. And so there's these bigger messages going on throughout too. And I don't know, it was a was a fun watch. Fellini's just a fun dude.
How long ago was Fellini making films?
I think it was like he made a lot, dude. I think it was like the 50s to like the 80s.
Yeah, shit. That's an interesting span.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Let's see, I got 8.5 right up here.
8.5?
Yeah, that's one of his most famous ones. This was made in 1991 was when it was renewed. So it doesn't say when it was originally made. Dang.
Yeah. You been getting outside much?
Not much. It's been storming.
Yeah. That could be kind of nice.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was storming like the day after I got my camera, and I saw the sky all crazy, and I was like, this thing's waterproof, so like just ran out there, and it was a goofy little scene where I had this big yellow raincoat and an umbrella, and Ellie was following me with an umbrella too, and I had this like really horrible tripod. And it was pouring rain, and I'm like trying to hold the umbrella up and the camera up, and it's falling, and I'm just saving my camera, but like it just looked like we were struggling out there. And we were. It was just kind of funny. So I went out during a storm, which was kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to... I haven't found my umbrella, but I've been at least trying to get out in that weather more. I think it's really unique, and it's really empty most of the time, but things look good.
Dude,
in
they
rain.
look so good in rain.
And
especially
that's fun.
Spring. Like
Spring
the spring
rain.
green, wet, under fluorescent light.
Yeah.
Whew. Next to those red brick roads back here.
I went on a bike ride at like 1 a.m. a couple nights ago when there was just like this really, really thick fog with like the slightest mist. And so I have my bike light on, but I had to put on the lowest setting just with the fog. And you could still only see about maybe 15 feet in front of you. And then my glasses would
the
fog
highest
over
setting?
too. Well, with fog, the higher the setting, kind of the more it just bounces the light back at you. So like a lower
Whoa.
setting actually works a little bit better in fog.
Huh, okay.
So I'm doing that, but then my glasses are fogging up too. So that lowers my visibilities to like maybe 5 feet max on my bicycle. And it's 1 a.m. So I was trying to go to Ada Hayden via these bike paths that I didn't actually know. I'd never really been on them. I had never actually circled the Ada Hayden. But so I would go and I would start to get lost a little bit, which I love. And then I would pop out like where I was 5 minutes before. And it happened to me a couple times, and I was getting the biggest kick out of it. Like legitimately, like I'd be like, I have no idea where I'm at. And then I'd see someone and be like, wait, you're kidding me. I'm here again. And like at one point I'd even been traveling a path that I was already on. I was going on it the other way, but didn't even notice it was the same path until like I hit a certain landmark. And so it was just fantastic. And then when I finally got to Ada Hayden, there were just these little frogs everywhere. Like hundreds of frogs.
Whoa.
So I'd have to you have no visibility, so you're going like pretty slow because my goal was to not kill any frogs,
Yeah.
And so you would just be looking at the ground, and then all of a sudden one would pop up right in front of you, and you just have to dart.
What?
And you're just doing that for
sounds
miles.
Wild.
Just doing it for miles. But it was just like fantastically fun, and your like clothes are starting to get like a little bit damp. It was a great experience. Like I took some photos that some of them turned out, some of them didn't. But then I come home at like 3 or something. I was like, wow, that bike ride was close to spiritual. Like,
Yeah, that sounds like
it felt like a vacation.
You were
it
rewarded.
Felt like a vacation.
You were rewarded for going and doing that. Like
Absolutely. It was a totally different. I was no longer in my city. I was somewhere completely different.
Yeah, and dude, man, I love that, and I really believe that happens. if you do things like that, they will happen. You just have to like keep thinking about what you can do with your day and how you can bring that strangeness and that experience. You can make it worth it.
I completely agree. Dude, you could almost write a Hugh Prather book just on like that specific of an idea.
That's what I'm thinking, man.
Trying to figure out the rules for it, trying to come up with little like questions to ask or like different little to get there, and then also just documenting when it does work, why, to just encourage that, because it's definitely momentum too. Because like the next day, I had a great day of very unique and spontaneous activity. The day following it felt longer than the rest of the week has, and it's just riding that momentum.
I think that's just good ideas. They become clearly good after you try them, or I guess they show that they weren't.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of just saying yes too. I think it's something I've kind of been focusing on in my life. Yeah, like you don't always have to, like, I didn't come up with that idea, but I just like looked outside and saw the fog and was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you caught the thought. Yeah, you caught the thought and you did it.
I think
but
that's
it was
huge.
Even before that. You're thinking maybe it was just like you went directly to it.
I don't know. I mean, it's just like you can't craft too far out. But when you get asked to do something by a person or by yourself or by the weather,
yeah,
just do it.
Yeah, recognize what your option is when it arises, and understand you can't predict where your day will go.
Yeah, I think that
in order to have a good one.
I feel that way for sure, and I think that that's something that I've sort of embraced in my life here, just since moving. I think has been one of my big takeaways. And I mean, I think just like with the whole, like getting a bipolar diagnosis, like I think that made me feel like less in control in a really positive way, where like I don't actually think I am in that much control of my life. And I think that that's actually been a beautiful realization, that I think I have some say in my life and not much more than that.
Yeah, no, I really think that way too.
Which is great. And when I treat myself like that, it really opens things up.
You
where
just
even
trust. You just kind of trust that your life will unfold in those ways.
It will unfold.
Experiences.
It's going to.
Yeah, just because that's what life is, and you just like you kind of have your standard way of thinking or your moods or your where you think your day is going, and you remain open to opportunities.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Remaining open and embracing. Right down to, I love the Hugh Prather's lines about, like, I've learned in life that friends do not last for a long time, so that I should embrace them while they're here. And while I think it's an incredible thing to try, like, obviously, like, like our friendship is one that I plan to have for the rest of my life, that was, like, a quote that it was really forwarded in my brain moving to Ames. Like, I don't plan to be here for very long, so let's just run with this. And I feel like it's been great. And, like, I know that these friendships aren't for a long time, so I make sure to enjoy them. I make sure to develop them as far as we can, and then who knows what's going to happen next. Or even like, I don't know, I feel like I'm less in control of how I dress even, because I'm just like going with my whims, and I'm going to dress like this for you now, and then that's going to change, and that's totally okay. But it's fun. Like, it feels like I get to explore my own, like, since I'm not like just in the driver's seat really of even how I'm dressing
completely through, just kind of like making quick intuitive decisions on even things like dressing and just throwing things together. I really feel like that's what I'm trying to do right now with writing stuff, just kind of like having ideas and just throwing them down and just not really thinking about them too much, just kind of like seeing what comes out of me, what is there, rather than trying to craft things. Just trusting that I am a mind worth searching, and not trying to search it, but just showing it.
Yeah. It's something that I've really been tuning into, is that, like, if you try hard, if you have a piece of wood and you try hard, you'll get a board. But a branch is more beautiful than a board. And I really feel that way. Most of my favorite things aesthetically are organic. And I look for ways that you can create organic. I love
Yeah.
pottery. I love pottery that's not perfect.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the way it went.
Yeah.
And that's how I
my
felt with the
favorite style.
digitizing stuff, man.
Embracing the element of the chaos, the unknown, the something that you can't control.
Yeah, what was there? What do you see in it? So how did you make this little adjustment next, and then one at a time you have a thing?
It can just be very fun too. I know, like in my first
It's a fun way to
semester,
work.
in my like 102 class, there was a project with mixed media, and I remember I was really like apprehensive. Like I was just like I didn't really have ideas. I was like nervous about how everything was gonna turn out, and then so I finally just told myself, you know what? Let's just do chaotic things. Let's drop shit from the balcony. Let's make mud into paint. Let's just do things that I
Yeah.
literally cannot control, and then it
Yeah.
becomes fun because I'm not
Yep.
stressing. It doesn't have to be perfect. It like I
It
cannot.
is more of an experiment. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
only at one factor in this, and then the element of unknown is another.
I came up with the rules of this. Yeah, this paint. I made it out of wood and yeah, dirt. But what happens after that, we'll see.
It becomes very fun, and maybe that's what
Yeah.
Milo does with rap.
I think that I mean when you were doing that, you know, and that was late last year. That was while I was writing the book. That was while I was editing that video for Sean. I mean, that we had conversations about that way of working, and we saw it as this true way to make art. Like we saw that as what making art was. Do you kind of remember that?
Yeah,
I still think that, man.
I think so too, and I think it more and more.
Yeah. Yeah, we had that one really good combo on the way to Dubuque. That was like right while the book was ending.
Huh.
Remember that?
On the way to Dubuque.
Yeah. I think it was on the way to Anamosa, which was on the way to Dubuque. Specifically, we had that conversation where we were like, what are your parents to you? What will you remember how would you describe your mom and dad?
Oh wow,
You remember that?
Yeah, now that you say it, that's
I've
incredible.
always kind of wanted to ask you, like, how did we describe them? Like, what was that? Because we were trying to think about what we would be like as parents, like what we would want our kids to describe us as, and what our grandkids would. I mean, we were thinking ahead
Sure. Yeah.
and trying to
That's
think,
kinda-
and then trying to think back afterwards, you know, at what our parents were. But
Well, and what a great way to recognize, to like kind of push everything aside and just realize how you feel about someone.
yeah,
Is to try to think, how would you describe
how would you describe them?
your mom?
Okay. What
The question was, how would you describe your parents to your kids if they had never met them? What should your kids know about your parents, their grandparents that they'd never met?
Yeah.
That's that's awesome.
I mean, that was a foggy drive to Anamosa to pick up Bryce.
The fog, man. You can't see. You gotta fill in the blanks.
Yeah. A gray day. I remember that.
This has been the most interesting change of season. And maybe it's just, I think as I get older, I appreciate everyone more. But also, not having to work and being able to go outside every day. I feel like I've just seen every detail of the change. It helps to have a garden, too.
I feel like it got so colorful and then went so green so quick. Like the colors are really only here for like a week, man.
Well, what I find interesting
they're
is that
still here,
it's
but
kind of
they're-
like one green. There's not a diversity. Like every green is the same green,
You're right.
and it's a
That's
very
pretty
young.
cool.
It's a young green, and it's cool. They're gonna develop more into differences. But then there are also I've been picking some wildflowers, And I think Cassie and I found like 10 different kinds of wildflowers, and we've just been building these big bouquets and keeping them in the living room.
Yeah, dude.
That's the only difference from the green. But yeah, it's the same green, and it all even has a similar texture. The air is great. It's just cool. And like I remember, because when I was first looking at morels, it was kind of before they had actually popped. I was identifying an elm tree, and the elm tree is the first to get any green on it. It has these little balls at the end. So I kind of noticed those, and there were these little bushes that were around our house and around kind of like the park down there that were also green. So these bushes and these elm trees were the first to go green, and then you start seeing other things pop up, and now it's just about everything. Just about everything has green on it, but it's still that same green. And I don't know. I really don't know what comes next.
You're right. There is that same green everywhere, and I wonder what'll happen. Yeah, I remember freaking out about every year, man. I freak out about spring. I remember being on the phone and being like, "Yeah, man, I'm sure that these trees were green before. Now they're red." It's like I didn't know what spring was just a few years ago. Just freaking out about it. My neighbors can hear me talking about their tree. I have videos, man. I have proof. They were green before.
These fucking trees are changing, man.
This is nuts.
I would say it's probably my favorite season.
I think so too.
There's just something about
it's really hard to I don't know, man. It's really I always am changing what my favorite season is, I feel like.
Really?
Like I've definitely called it fall, and I've definitely called it spring before. But it's definitely those two that I'm usually sifting between.
Oh, that's interesting. See, I'm a huge fan of winter. No. No, but yeah, I always bounce between spring and summer. I would have just always said summer, but it could be spring.
See, I'm the opposite. I think I'm a majority fall guy.
And I can totally see that with you, and I love that, and a lot of people really are. Just for me, I really enjoy fall, but it's just like, it's not the same. I don't know, just like the way that I connect with it.
Yeah, dude, spring has summer coming up, whereas fall has winter coming up. So it's like spring definitely wins in that regard. Like, not only is its moment just as good, but its moment after is better.
Yeah.
Like, you have to include the moment after into the equation of how good is the moment.
It makes sense. And that's, yeah, when I think about spring, it's just excitement. There is something, there's fall is probably better weather. Because even the cold days are great.
Yeah.
And really, aesthetically, it could not be more interesting. But there's just, to me, spring, it's birth, it's young, it's exciting, and feels like I connect with it so well.
Yeah,
and I
think
windows
spring wins. Yeah, open windows. I mean, just like comfortably doing anything. You can comfortably do anything in the spring, whereas in the fall, some things are a little bit. Maybe a little too chilly or...
Dude, is spring the only season without a fucking holiday? Easter? I guess is Easter in spring?
Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Is Easter? Yeah, Easter's gotta be spring.
It's like very early spring. But what's the next holiday? Is it the 4th of July?
Yeah, which is summer, but it's end of spring, summer. I mean, that's pretty summer.
Yeah. Because the solstice is at July 15th.
I'm not sure. Be a good thing to know, though.
Oh, wait, July. That sounds about right. So the 4th of July is a spring holiday. So what is the summer holiday?
So the summer solstice is June 20th, so
That would make July the summer, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah. Because I do always picture the 4th of July. I mean, it's still
That's
it is
summer.
it's early summer because you want your corn to be the height of the knee of a horse,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, corn's a late crop. Just yeah, just go. So
I don't know.
so 4th of July is a great. When I think of the holidays, I think fall is it's Thanksgiving, it's Halloween. Winter is Christmas, the greatest holiday of all, for my money. The spring,
Halloween's amazing.
I guess, is Easter, which for me that's a partial holiday. And then 4th of July is just a weird one because like that's the one that like I don't know. I really like the 4th of July actually.
Would Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Mayo, would that be?
It certainly is a holiday. I guess like all
It's
holidays
weird.
are cultural.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely like coming from like my very specific background. Yeah, I didn't celebrate it, but
Yeah, neither did I.
that's a
That
great
would be
time
a
for time for a holiday.
Be a spring holiday.
That'd be a great one too. Yeah. Man,
So is St. Patrick's Day late winter?
because we missed St. Patrick's Day via this
It's like
week.
late February.
So actually, no.
Wait,
St.
late
Patrick's
March.
Day.
Late March.
St. Patrick's Day was like supposed to be the weekend before this happened.
Yeah, it was the weekend after.
Yeah, we missed it. I was at the bar the day before. It was a Monday. Was the day before. St. Patrick's Day was Tuesday.
Tuesday the 20 something.
Because I was at the Irish pub, the great one here names the Mucky Duck.
Wow, Mucky
boy.
Duck.
Yeah, I want to get a shirt.
Yeah, that's a great place. Yeah, Bryce and I were at Dublin the week before, so like they were putting up the signs for St. Patrick's Day. I'm so hyped, man. I walked by the place. I walked by my place for next year a few times this past week. Just so hyped to get back to Dublin and to stay here. Yeah. Yeah.
That persona of it. But it's like there's really, that whole.
That's not really how we live it.
Not how we live it. And I
Although
think
you guys are partiers though, and I feel like they would prefer to live it that way almost.
I don't know though, because I mean, there's a Welch Avenue here that's kind of more that party scene, but we definitely are more like thumbs. We want to hit the dive bar,
And
hit
you
a
guys
fire
stay
pit.
for afties, which is something I haven't done in a long time.
Yeah, I guess we do a lot of afties. Yeah, I guess.
I'd have to be prepared.
And then a morning brunch, and all of that we could do in Iowa City really well.
Yeah. That would be a great time. That will be.
Yeah. That will be a great time. It's weird. I really don't know. I feel like I won't really start going out until I'm working. Like, I think that's about where I put it.
Yeah, and I don't know when that'll be still. It's like, it'll be when I'm working, but how long after I've started working will it be?
Right. Because
Yeah,
right now
yeah.
it seems like a weird risk. Like, why would I go to a bar when like
I just don't want to look silly. You know?
I don't want to look. Yeah, that really is the main one.
That looks
I don't
pretty
wanna look
silly
silly.
to me right now, so I don't want to do it right now.
But if I have to go to work and I'm interacting with,
You might want to be able to let it out after.
well, it's just like that's gonna be a bigger risk than like going to have, like if I'm working behind a bar where people are coming and going constantly, well, I have to stay in one fixed place and interact with all of them
Yeah.
versus me
Go
going
one
there.
place. Yeah. Interact with one set of people.
Yeah, it's like I've already accepted such
Keep
a
your
risk
distance.
that,
Yeah.
that's probably.
I don't know,
It's
man.
weird,
I'm
dude.
almost at the point where this may have hindered my inspiration to go out.
Dude, I was watching
I'm
TV
not
though.
in a place where I'm like really wishing I could go out, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I was watching TV and they were showing a game. These two characters were playing pool.
Pool.
And
you
it's
know
right
me.
up on the felt. You know, you just bank it right out that rail.
I mean,
bounces off
that's,
that cushion,
that to me,
taps
that's
it,
different.
falls
That,
in the
that to me,
pocket.
that's different from what going out is. To me, that's going to go play pool.
Yeah.
And I'm so ready to do that. And I already messaged Bryce about it today. But going out, yeah, that's something that I'm not
Well,
fiending for.
yeah, what I'm feeling for is I want to go shoot pool and I want to have a
go out.
drink. I want to have a drink at the Dublin Underground
Yeah.
with my favorite bartenders there. Talk to
That's
our favorite
true. That's true.
bicyclist friend on the corner.
See how he's taking it in.
Yeah, dude, I just want to see. Dude, I think it's going to be so fun to talk to, like, the bartenders and shit after this. It's going to be
Yeah.
the best feeling. It's going to be like the spring. It is the springtime of bars. And I want to feel that energy.
Blooming.
Everybody's
They're
just going to
blooming.
be like, dude, we're here. Like, we can have a beer? Like, yeah, I'll take a beer. This will be great. Do you guys want to hear some music? Like, yeah. Oh, it's going to be, I think, don't forget that you are an extrovert.
Yeah. I hear you.
It's gonna feel amazing.
I just get confused because I am both extroverted and introverted.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah. But you're right. It'll be great to do that.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot of bars that I don't miss too. I think that's worth noting.
Yeah.
That even like, you know, Gabe's on the right night is great, but I don't quite miss it. It's just it's
Yeah,
really
I don't miss that.
pool in Dublin.
I
And
miss
then here
Deadwood
in
and
Ames.
Dublin.
Yeah,
Deadwood, Dublin, and
I look forward to the day that I can go into Thumbs. Also, just like
Yeah.
going out to eat would be nice again too.
yeah, sitting at a restaurant.
Sitting at a restaurant. Even just like if you go and pick up like Subway, sometimes it's nice to just sit down there.
Yeah. Like sit in the parking lot. That's what I do.
Yeah. Oh, well, you can. Okay, yeah. That's what you do now.
Yeah, done it
Yeah.
before.
Sure. I've been just kind of like driving to like parks, eat like
Yeah.
a burrito in the park, which is really nice.
Our subway is so not close to any parks, really. It's like
Which one you go to?
one on Riverside. I guess I could go up to Marietta or that area.
Yeah, there's some decent ones over there for sure. There's even a rather big one if you just keep going down there. The fruit tree.
Mm-hmm. Dude, so Ellie downloaded a trial of Ableton,
No.
and that was another thing that felt like a car I was in. Like, I was trying to help her set up an interface on Ableton. I had never used the interface before, and Ableton is hard, man. And so
Easier
that
than
was just-
Ableton.
That was just tough, and so it didn't really work out. But she is like, we did figure some stuff out. It's just like latency, like there's just some weird stuff going on, but she went over to Musicians Pro today while we were on this call, so I'm not sure if she needed one other like chord, and maybe she got it.
So what is she trying to do with it?
Trying to just start messing around a little. You know, like that's how I ever did anything, was just by messing around.
Sure.
Like, you know, we have some time, so it's like, instead of just playing and practicing, it's just like playing, figuring out a little thing, and then recording that little thing, and then just like doing, you know, maybe doing another thing over that little thing, and you know, just messing around. Just start messing around. No like specific. I mean, she's working on an EP right now with Capel, the dude who did the Bangs track. So like, she's working on a thing pretty seriously, but like for home, she wants to just start to get used to doing things at home on her own. So she's just like gonna try and mess around.
Oh, that's
and it's just
awesome.
always been it's been difficult to like get the stuff set up. It's been a difficult process, but
Is she?
hanging-
So she's
hanging in
putting the
there.
guitar in.
Yeah, she's trying to like get an interface so she can put her guitar directly in, and then also try doing that a little bit with a microphone rather than the Yeti, because The Yeti does have a specific sound, and the interface is different.
Yeah. So the microphone can go through the same interface as a guitar.
Yeah, like the interface allows you to plug in an instrument or a microphone. You know, it has different slots for different things. So
Okay.
like, you can't plug in a Yeti.
And she already
But-
has like her performing microphone. Is she using the same one?
It's just one that she'd use like on a PA system, you know. So it's not like necessarily a recording microphone. It's more of a performing microphone. Yeah.
Do you know what
But it's
is?
not even necessary. It's a Shure, but it's
Okay.
not necessarily like the Shure recording microphone, you know, which
Do you
is
know
actually
which number
kind
it
of
is?
that's the one that like it's a big round head. It's not like one of those
Okay. The flat ones.
like yeah, which
What
I
is that, the
have.
58?
Remember?
That
That's
was
what I
a Shure?
used for the documentary for the commentary.
I guess I didn't know what kind that was.
That was a Shure. That was a Shure flathead, and like that thing is sick, but it's like more for like guitar, like straight up to like a guitar amp.
Okay.
But anyways, I don't know that much myself. But that microphone's at the place where she's recording her EP right now, so it's like we don't have that one laying around.
Mhm.
So she's just using the performing mic a little.
Yeah.
But I hope that worked out a little for her today. I hope she can actually start doing it. I hope I can be some help. I was like trying to figure it out for her, but I couldn't even really do it.
That's fun. How long is Ableton? That's a month.
I think so, yeah.
Do a lot in a month.
And then she's reading Slaughterhouse 5.
No shit.
Yeah, supposedly, I told you Vonnegut lived next door, but yeah, he was supposedly there when he started Slaughterhouse 5.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Got to do that.
So
then.
she's reading it, yeah.
Slaughterhouse, I like it more and more after reading. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Like,
like
just
it more
having it in
having
you?
read it than
Having it in you.
yeah. I always liked it, but I think I just read it too close to Fahrenheit
Oh, yeah. So you couldn't help but compare.
because I love Fahrenheit. Yeah.
I know you do, yeah.
But like in retrospect, like there's just like I don't know. I always like when something leaves me with questions, and Slaughterhouse definitely leaves me with more that I'm still trying to resolve than Fahrenheit.
That's cool. It's a cool thing to have for your book.
It's just so weird. I can't believe like I just really can't believe that he made that.
I've never read it yet, so I can't really speak on it, but I'll have to read it after Ellie for sure.
Yeah, read it at the new place.
Yeah. And I'm so hyped to get in, man.
You signed the lease.
Yeah, it was a nerve-wracking day when I'd emailed back and he never did for the whole day about, after submitting the renter's application.
Oh, he just didn't say anything.
He just, like, when I sent him that, basically we got the renter's application on, like, a Sunday night, I think, and that Monday I filled it out. I went and got it printed out. We wrote it out, and I scanned it, and then I sent him the email of it, and then I also texted him, like, hey, sent the email of that renter's application, and he never responded that whole day. So then, like, that next day, it was like one of those things where you're refreshing the email, and I like can't even get out of bed until this email arrives back that that nobody's taken this place from us in the day span. Like, I shouldn't have been that worried, but it was just like that important.
Oh yeah.
And like you had even said, like, hey, text me when you sign that lease. Like, it was that important. Yeah.
Dude, hold up. My brother just sent me a big long text.
Everything good?
Yeah, it's this is a weird one. He had some okay. It looks like it's about a job. Huh. Yeah, let me just send this quick. Phone's dying. Okay, I'm close. All right, I'm with you.
Maybe I'll have to. Maybe that day I bring the beat pad over, we'll have to do a tarot reading.
Oh, yeah, dude. That would actually be like a great
That'd be an efficient trip.
dude, and that would what a transition into music making. To just
That
fully
would what?
It would just be the greatest thing to do before trying to make music.
Yeah.
To just sit cross-legged, look at each
Yeah.
other, and just try to dive into our present, our past, our future, and ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we'll just go, okay, let's make some music.
Yeah,
It's
man.
perfect. I love it. I would love that. I really haven't done it in a very long time, and I'd love that.
You could maybe try like next Monday.
I like it. I like it a
I
lot.
feel like that gives me like a chance, like, cause there's a chance I go back, like I said, to see my grandma this weekend. And you're going, to Wisconsin tomorrow, and you got your project through Friday, so maybe by Monday we'll be kind of settled back in.
Yeah, and definitely no pressure on that date, but if that works for you, that works for me.
I think it's kind of fun to plan on a date,
Cool.
Yeah. So long as I'm not packing.
What do you mean?
Packing at Oasis.
Oh, I see. I gotcha.
Yeah, but no, yeah, they said a couple weeks, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
won't be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and get used to maybe making a beat for that track. Get used to singing that track again, or you have that one, but a different one, right?
What?
That's what you're thinking.
What?
A beat, like you want to make a new beat, not like a beat, because you already have that beat for the Lyme disease track.
Oh yeah, that one's done. I just feel
Yeah.
like I want to have. I want
You
to
want to try and make another.
Yes.
You want to
Ideally.
try and make a few more.
Yeah.
You have some verses, and you have that one. You have that one about a 19-season undefeated win streak in NBA 2K3.
Which we had the hardest time
Like,
getting that to an actual beat.
yeah,
I guess I want
And you
to
could try
write
it again.
That's true. I'm definitely not. Yeah. I went through
I
it
know
the other day
you're
and I was
probably
like, oh,
trying
yeah.
to write some new stuff, but like, if we never really had a beat for that. I mean, we tried the Elsewhere beat, but you could try and make a beat and with that in mind, or I don't know. We'll see. We can't really like we were talking about earlier. We can't try and craft the future too much. We kind of just gotta let it happen, be open minded to it,
Yeah.
and let the opportunity arise. Hear the idea, attack the idea when it's there that day.
That's what I want. And it just feels like we need to have
Yeah.
beats to attack. So I think
Yeah.
the beats, there's not a sound we're going for. We'll just have fun.
We'll just
listen to all
start
the
one thing at a
instruments.
time. Start one thing at a time.
We'll
like
pick-
if we start with a drum, let's get a cool drum. Let's
Cool
not get
drum.
a drum that'll work. Let's not get a drum that'll work for a rap or for a vibe. We don't know the vibe yet. We're gonna
Yeah.
get a cool drum.
Yeah, that's
And then
what I'm
what
most
the
yeah.
vibe of the drum will determine what the vibe of the bass is like, and or whatever. And we'll just kind of build it one by one, and the thing will be what it is.
As long as each instrument is interesting, that's really all I care for.
Okay, that's a great start. It's a great rule.
Ha ha ha.
That's kind of cool. That'd be kind of fun.
I think so too.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much else. I feel like I kind of covered everything that I was here to talk about. I don't know if you have anything you want to catch up on.
Man, that was good.
Yeah. Might think about some actual food here now.
That's likewise, man.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good catching up.
Yeah, man. This is fun. I always look forward to it. It's always a good time. And
Always.
now we've got something else to look forward to.
Yeah. It'd be great. Well, have a good rest of your day, dude.
Likewise.
Peace.
Peace.